Most side hustles are not new. They just got new names. Before apps, websites, payment links, social media, and online marketplaces, people still needed extra money. And they found it in surprisingly practical ways. They cleaned, repaired, cooked, delivered, watched children, rented things out, taught skills, sold leftovers, fixed problems, and helped neighbors who were short on time. Today, we call these things gigs, services, local businesses, freelancing, reselling, home-based businesses, or passive income. But decades ago, they were just common ways ordinary people made ends meet. Some of these side hustles are old-fashioned. Some are boring. Some are physically hard. But that is exactly why many of them still work. Because people still pay for convenience. They still pay for trust. They still pay for skills they do not have. They still pay to save time, avoid stress, and get small problems solved quickly. So in this video, we're looking at 25 old-school side hustles that still work today, and why the simplest income ideas are often the ones people overlook. 1. House cleaning. House cleaning is one of the oldest side hustles because it solves a problem that never goes away. Homes get dirty, people get busy, and many households would rather pay someone reliable than spend their limited free time scrubbing bathrooms, floors, kitchens, and windows. Before online booking platforms, cleaners found work through neighbors, churches, local bulletin boards, flyers, referrals, and word of mouth. A good cleaner did not need a big company. They needed consistency, trust, and attention to detail. One satisfied household could lead to another, then a small route of weekly or monthly clients. The modern version is still extremely practical. People pay for basic cleaning, move-out cleaning, Airbnb turnover cleaning, office cleaning, deep cleaning, post-renovation cleaning, and organizing services. The reason this works is simple. Cleaning is necessary, repeatable, and personal. If someone trusts you inside their home and you do good work, they are likely to call you again. That is what makes this old-school side hustle powerful. It is not flashy, but boring. Repeatable services often create more reliable income than trendy ideas. 2. Lawn care and yard work. Long before landscaping companies had websites, people made extra money cutting grass, raking leaves, trimming hedges, planting flowers, pulling weeds, and clearing brush. A teenager with a mower could earn summer cash. A handy adult could build a weekend route. A neighbor with tools could become the person everyone called when the yard got out of control. This side hustle worked because the need was visible. You could walk down a street and see who needed help. Tall grass, leaves in the yard, overgrown bushes, broken fences, and messy garden beds were all signs of opportunity. Today, yard work is still one of the most direct ways to make local money. The tools are simple, the customers are nearby, the results are obvious, and the work can become recurring. Spring cleanup, summer mowing, fall leaves, winter snow removal, and seasonal planting all create different income windows. The lesson is that local physical problems can be easier to monetize than online ideas. You do not need a massive audience to make money cutting grass. You need a few people nearby who want their weekends back. 3. Babysitting. Babysitting has been a trusted side hustle for generations. Parents needed help before smartphones, and they still need help now. In the past, babysitting was usually arranged through family, neighbors, church communities, schools, and personal referrals. A responsible teenager or adult could earn money watching children in the evening, after school, during weekends, or while parents worked irregular hours. This was not just about sitting in a house, it was about trust. Parents were not only paying for time, they were paying for peace of mind. That is still true today. Babysitting, after-school care, homework help, parent helper services, date-night childcare, and nannying all come from the same old need. Depending on local rules, some childcare work may require licensing or background checks, especially if it becomes regular or involves multiple children. But the basic lesson still stands. Trusted care is valuable, and in many communities, reliable childcare is still hard to find. That makes babysitting one of the oldest side hustles that never really went away. 4. Tutoring. Before online courses and video lessons, students still needed extra help. They struggled with math, reading, writing, languages, music, exams, and practical skills. A tutor could teach from a kitchen table, a library, a church room, or the student's home. The marketing was simple. If a student improved, parents talked. If a teacher recommended you, your reputation grew. If you helped one child pass, another family might call. Today, tutoring is even broader. People tutor school subjects: English, test prep, music, coding, business skills, writing, resume preparation, and professional certifications. The old school version teaches an important lesson. You do not need to be the world's top expert. You need to be helpful to someone who is a few steps behind you. If you can explain something clearly, patiently, and reliably, that skill has value. Tutoring is a side hustle built on knowledge, trust, and results. And those three things are still marketable today. 5. Sewing and alterations. There was a time when people repaired clothes because replacing them was expensive. Pants were hemmed, buttons were replaced, dresses were altered, coats were patched, zippers were fixed, socks were darned. A person with sewing skills could earn steady money from home because nearly everyone owned clothes that needed adjusting or repairing. Even as clothing became cheaper, alterations never disappeared. People still need suits tailored, dresses fitted, uniforms adjusted, curtains hemmed, costumes repaired, and vintage clothing restored. This side hustle works because most people do not sew anymore. That makes the skill rarer than it used to be. And when a useful skill becomes rare, it can become more valuable. The modern opportunity is not only basic mending. It can include bridal alterations, thrift flip repairs, cosplay work, patch sewing, embroidery, and clothing resale prep. The old lesson is simple. If you can make something fit, last, or look better, people will pay you. 6. Baking for neighbors. Long before social media bakeries, home bakers made money through word of mouth. They sold pies, cakes, bread, cookies, rolls, preserves, holiday desserts, and special occasion foods. The business often started with one person saying, "Can you make that for me?" Then another person asked. Then a holiday came around. Then a birthday. Then a church event, wedding, family reunion, or office party. A good baker could become known locally without ever running a formal shop. Today, this still works, though local cottage food laws matter and should be checked before selling. Some people focus on custom cakes. Others sell sourdough, cookies, cupcakes, banana bread, jams, sauces, or seasonal treats. This side hustle works because food is emotional. People buy baked goods for comfort, celebration, nostalgia, and convenience. The old school lesson is that the best products often sell themselves when people can taste the quality. 7. Taking in laundry. Laundry used to be one of the hardest household chores. Before modern machines were common, it took strength, time, water, heat, soap, space, and patience. Some people made money by washing, drying, ironing, folding, and returning laundry for others. They served families, workers, hotels, boarders, professionals, and anyone who could afford to outsource the task. Today, the work is easier because the machines are better, but the demand still exists. People pay for wash and fold, dry cleaning pickup, ironing, closet organization, and laundry services for busy households, students, elderly people, and short-term rentals. The reason is the same as it was a century ago. Laundry is never finished. It keeps coming back, and any task that repeats forever can become recurring income. The old lesson, people will pay to remove a chore from their life. 8. Handyman repairs. Every neighborhood has small problems that are too minor for a contractor but too annoying for the homeowner. A loose railing, a broken gate, a shelf that needs hanging, a door that sticks, a screen that needs repair, a faucet that drips, a piece of furniture that needs assembly. Before online service directories, people found handy workers through hardware stores, neighbors, flyers, and referrals. A reliable person with basic tools could build steady side income by solving these small problems. Today, the handyman niche is still strong because many people do not have the time, tools, or confidence to fix things themselves. Depending on the job, licensing rules may apply, especially for electrical, plumbing, or structural work. But many small repairs are still accessible for someone skilled and careful. The old lesson is that small problems are not small to the person living with them, and solving enough small problems can become a serious business. 9. Selling firewood. In colder areas, firewood was not just cozy. It was survival. People needed wood for heat, cooking, and daily life. A person who could cut, split, stack, and deliver firewood had something valuable to sell. Even after modern heating became common, firewood remained useful for fireplaces, wood stoves, cabins, campsites, and outdoor gatherings. Today, firewood is still a simple, seasonal side hustle in the right location. People buy bundles for camping, stacked wood for winter, kindling, specialty cooking wood, and fire pit wood. The work is physical. It requires proper sourcing, safety, storage, and sometimes permits or local compliance. But the idea is old and practical. Take a raw resource, prepare it into a useful form, and deliver it to people who need it. The lesson is that value is often created by doing the hard part people would rather avoid. 10. Selling at flea markets. Before online marketplaces, flea markets were one of the original resale platforms. People sold antiques, tools, clothes, books, dishes, toys, furniture, records, handmade goods, and strange items pulled from attics, barns, basements, and garages. A seller needed a table, inventory, pricing instincts, and the ability to talk to buyers. Some treated it as a hobby. Others made real money. The business model was simple. Find undervalued items and sell them where buyers gather. Today, the same idea exists online through eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Etsy, Poshmark, Mercari, and local resale groups, but flea markets still work because people enjoy browsing and discovering things in person. The old lesson is that resale is not really about junk. It is about attention. The person who sees value before others do has an advantage. 11. Pet sitting and dog walking. People have always needed help caring for animals. Before pet apps and online booking, a trusted neighbor might feed cats, walk dogs, clean cages, watch a farm animal, or check on pets while a family traveled. The job depended heavily on trust. People were giving someone access to their home and responsibility for an animal they loved. Today, pet sitting and dog walking are bigger than ever. Many people work long hours, travel, or live in apartments where pets need regular attention. Services can include daily walks, overnight sitting, drop-in visits, feeding, medication reminders, litter cleaning, or basic grooming. The old lesson is that people spend money on what they care about. And for many households, pets are family. A reliable pet sitter can become the first person people call every time they leave town. 12. Painting houses and fences. Painting has always been a practical way to make extra money because it is labor-intensive, visible, and constantly needed. Houses fade, fences weather, porches peel, rooms need refreshing. Before large home service platforms, painters found work through signs, referrals, and local reputation. A person did not need to start with big jobs. They could paint a room, a shed, a fence, a porch, a garage, or a small apartment. Today, painting remains a strong local service. It requires preparation, neatness, patience, and basic equipment. The value is obvious when the work is done, which makes customers more likely to refer you if they are happy. The old lesson, visible transformation sells. When customers can immediately see the difference your work made, your service becomes easier to recommend. 13. Window washing. Window washing is another old side hustle built on a simple problem. Windows get dirty, and many people do not want to climb, scrub, wipe, and streak check them. Storefronts, homes, offices, churches, and apartment buildings all needed clean windows. A person with a bucket, squeegee, ladder, and care could start small. For shops, clean windows mattered because they affected how customers saw the business. For homes, they made the whole place feel brighter. Today, window washing is still a low overhead service in many areas. It can be paired with gutter cleaning, pressure washing, solar panel cleaning, or screen repair. Safety matters, especially with heights. But the basic business idea remains simple. The old lesson is that clarity has value. People pay when a simple improvement makes their home or business look better. 14. Sharpening knives and tools. There was a time when sharpening was a common local trade. People needed sharp knives, scissors, saws, axes, lawn tools, and farm tools. Instead of replacing them, they maintained them. A sharpener could work from a shop, cart, market stall, or home setup. The customers included households, butchers, barbers, farmers, cooks, woodworkers, and gardeners. Today, sharpening is less common, which can make it more interesting as a side hustle. Chefs, home cooks, gardeners, salons, barbers, and craftspeople still need sharp tools. The work requires skill, safety, and practice, but the demand exists because most people do not know how to sharpen properly. The old lesson: maintenance skills become valuable when everyone else forgets them. 15. Photography. Before everyone carried a camera in their pocket, photography was a valuable skill. People paid for portraits, weddings, school events, family photos, passport photos, business images, and community gatherings. A photographer needed equipment, timing, composition, and the ability to capture moments people cared about. Today, cameras are everywhere, but good photography still matters. People pay for weddings, graduation photos, family shoots, product photos, real estate images, event photography, and professional headshots. The difference now is that customers expect speed, editing, and digital delivery. But the old foundation is the same. People pay to preserve moments, improve how they look, or sell something more effectively. The lesson: tools become common, but taste and reliability still separate professionals from everyone else. 16. Selling homemade crafts. Before Etsy, craft fairs and local markets gave makers a place to sell. People made quilts, candles, wreaths, carved wood, knitted items, jewelry, signs, soaps, ornaments, baskets, and home decorations. The best sellers often matched seasons and occasions: Christmas ornaments, wedding decorations, baby gifts, harvest wreaths, church bazaar items. Today, handmade goods can still sell locally and online, but the principle has not changed. The product needs a clear buyer and a reason to be purchased. A craft is not automatically a business, but a craft that solves a gift problem, decor problem, identity problem, or seasonal need can become one. The old lesson: handmade sells best when it feels specific, useful, or emotionally meaningful. 17. Car washing and detailing. People made money washing cars long before mobile detailing brands existed. A bucket, soap, towels, polish, and hard work could turn into weekend income. Some people washed cars in driveways. Others set up at gas stations, parking lots, or neighborhood corners. The value was obvious. A clean car made people feel better and helped preserve the vehicle. Today, mobile car washing and detailing are still strong because people are busy and cars are expensive. Services can range from simple exterior washes to deep interior cleaning, stain removal, waxing, odor removal, and fleet cleaning. The old lesson is that people pay for pride of ownership. When something is expensive, visible, or personally meaningful, customers are willing to maintain it. 18. Moving help. Before professional moving companies were common or affordable for every small job, people hired local help. They needed strong backs to load furniture, carry boxes, move trunks, rearrange rooms, haul items, or help someone relocate across town. A few reliable people with a truck, wagon, or simply physical strength could earn money doing work others could not or did not want to do. Today, moving help is still in demand. People need help loading rental trucks, moving apartments, delivering furniture, rearranging heavy items, hauling junk, and picking up marketplace purchases. The work is physical and requires care because customers do not want damaged belongings. But it remains practical because moving is stressful, urgent, and difficult. The old lesson: when a task is heavy, inconvenient, and time-sensitive, people are often willing to pay. 19. Renting a room, garage, or storage space. Renting spare space is one of the oldest ways to turn unused property into income. People rented rooms to boarders, garage space to neighbors, barns for storage, and sheds for tools or equipment. The basic idea was simple. If you had space someone else needed, you could charge for access. Today, this can show up as renting a room, garage storage, parking space, workshop space, RV storage, basement storage, or short-term furnished housing. Local rules, leases, insurance, and safety all matter. But the old school idea is still powerful. You may not need to create a new product. You may already own something useful. The lesson: unused space can quietly become income if it solves someone else's storage, housing, or convenience problem. 22. Meal preparation. Cooking for others is an old income idea that keeps returning in new forms. Before meal prep companies, some people cooked for workers, elderly neighbors, busy families, boarders, or community members who needed regular meals. They might prepare lunches, dinners, baked goods, soups, or preserved foods. Today, meal prep has become a modern business, but the need is unchanged. People want food that is convenient, affordable, healthier than fast food, and made by someone they trust. Local food regulations matter, and anyone selling prepared food should understand the rules in their area. But the opportunity is real. Busy parents, fitness customers, elderly clients, students, and workers may all pay for prepared meals. The old lesson: feeding people is one of the oldest businesses in the world because hunger returns every day. 23. Running errands for seniors. In every generation, older people have needed help with practical tasks. Before senior concierge services had a name, neighbors and relatives helped with groceries, mail, pharmacy trips, appointments, cleaning, simple repairs, and companionship. Sometimes it was unpaid community care. Sometimes it became a source of income for someone reliable and kind. Today, this kind of help is still needed. Many seniors want to remain independent, but need support with small tasks. Errand help, transportation, organizing, technology help, light housekeeping, and check-in visits can all be valuable. Depending on the service, there may be safety, insurance, or licensing issues to consider. But the principle is old and human. The lesson: reliability and kindness can become valuable when they help someone stay independent. 24. Junk hauling. People have always accumulated things they no longer want. Broken furniture, old appliances, scrap wood, boxes, mattresses, yard waste. Before modern junk removal companies, someone with a truck, wagon, or trailer could make money hauling unwanted items away. Sometimes the junk was simply discarded. Sometimes it was resold, repaired, or scrapped. Today, junk hauling still works because clutter is stressful and disposal is inconvenient. People will pay to make a problem disappear. The work can also lead to resale opportunities if usable items are recovered legally and ethically. The old lesson: removing a burden can be just as valuable as creating something new. Sometimes the business is not selling people more. It is helping them get rid of what they already have. 25. Local newsletter or advertising sheet. Before blogs and email newsletters, local information traveled through printed sheets, church bulletins, community papers, small newsletters, and advertising circulars. Someone could make money by collecting local news, announcements, classifieds, coupons, event listings, and ads from small businesses. The value was attention. If people in town read the sheet, businesses would pay to be included. This was not easy. It required distribution, consistency, and local relationships. But the concept was simple: gather attention, then sell access to that attention. Today, the same idea exists as local newsletters, neighborhood social pages, community Facebook groups, niche blogs, email lists, and local sponsorships. The old lesson is that media does not have to be global to be profitable. A small, trusted local audience can still have value. The most interesting thing about these old-school side hustles is how ordinary they are. Most of them are not mysterious. They are not glamorous. They are not built around secret formulas. They are built around everyday problems. Dirty houses, messy yards, busy parents, broken items, hungry people, unused space, unwanted junk. Skills other people do not have. That is why so many of them still work today. The tools changed. The names changed. The platforms changed. But the human needs stayed the same. People still want convenience. They still want trust. They still want their time back. They still want problems solved by someone reliable. So if you are ever wondering where income ideas come from, do not only look at what is trending online, look at what people have been paying for across generations. Because sometimes the best side hustle is not a new idea. It is an old one that still solves a real problem. If you enjoyed this look at old school side hustles, subscribe for more forgotten money methods, practical history, and income lessons from the past. Thanks for watching.